Hey there, I am here in Vancouver at the HR Talent Tech Conference, and I just got done. I saw Marco Pasqua speak about inclusion in the workplace, and I was super inspired, so of course I had to ask, would you spend some time with me? And you said yes, so first of all, thank you for taking a moment.
Thanks so much, I'll shake your hand, for sure.
And then, for all the people out there that I'm talking to, a little bit about yourself and your background.
Sure, so I'm an entrepreneur, an inspirational speaker, and accessibility consultant. So my whole life has been around creating businesses that are socially driven, but also looking at the world differently through the lens of accessibility and inclusion, because I'm somebody with lived experience. You can't really see it on the camera, but I'm a wheelchair user, and I have been my entire life, born with cerebral palsy, and I feel blessed. I think it's a blessed experience, to be quite honest with you.
Say more about that. Like, how has this been a blessing for you? What's the gift in this?
Well, you know, I'll be quite honest with you. I'll just say it straight up. There's the amount of people, if I had a quarter for every time they said, I would like to pray for you, random strangers, it's crazy. I don't need somebody to pray for me. I need them to understand that I feel blessed in my life because this perspective has given me the opportunity to actually connect with people in a real way that is not superficial. And so the people who aren't worth my time, whether that's in personal life or in business, they seem to just kind of shed away. The people that are worth my time are the ones that authentically want to get to know who I am as a person, and thereby it means I have a strong network and people that are really a part of my life.
Yeah. So say a little bit more about your work. I know a lot of the people that I'm communicating with are really thinking about this accessibility and how to improve our belonging and all of that in the workplace.
Sure.
Can you say a little bit about, at a high level, what would you say about that?
Yeah, I think that it's more predominant. I know that in the United States, the Americans with Disabilities Act has been around since about the mid to early 90s. Here in Canada, we just passed the Accessible Canada Act, which only happened about a month ago. So that is on a federal level is starting to roll itself out. It's an exciting time. And the reason why it's exciting is that it means that more people, regardless of their conditions or abilities, are going to be accepted into life, into businesses, and into social culture in a way that hasn't been seen before. And my role as an accessibility consultant is to work with some of the biggest change makers in the world and CEOs who understand that, get that, and understand that not only it improves productivity, but it improves business practices, as well as it improves bottom line. And I know for any business leaders out there, bottom line is a big piece, especially when it comes to culture and the culture you create within your organization.
Wow. And we could talk about this for a long, long time. We're doing a quick piece here. So you just said you work with a lot of leaders.
Yeah.
Are there some like 3 or a few high-level kind of bullet point things you'd share with if a group of leaders were watching you or people that can make change?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, those leaders out there, if you want to truly make change on inclusion and diversity, set the tone from the top. It's something I talked about in my talk, but if you just have your HR professionals talking about it, people will think it's just a checkbox. If you as a business leader truly value what it is that you're doing in your company, you have to set that tone from the top. Secondly, it's to look back into your employees and value what they bring to your culture and to the organization. Many times people who have disabilities, they actually bring unique set of skills or talents that aren't seen by individuals who would be considered typical. And it's because we see the world differently, we lived in the world differently, and we can actually use that to our advantage to help you with productivity as well as other things. And at the end, I would just say, understand that people are people. We live in a very sensitive time, and blessings to anyone who wants to respect themselves and use any label that they want to, but I'm a person that says let people be people, regardless of any level you identify with. At the end of the day, what are we trying to do as an organization? What are we doing to bring each other, each of us closer to what it is our end goals are? And what can we do to really accelerate what it is that we want to do as an organization? So if you work in software, how can we make our software better? If you work in the restaurant industry or hospitality industry, how can you get closer to those customers? Because at the end of the day, without customers, you don't have a business, and I think people forget that.
You're amazing. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful that I met you.
Yeah.
You've inspired me. I know we're going to have a long friendship and connection after this, but thank you for taking the time, I hope that there's some value here.
Thank you so much. Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.